Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching for the first time and click the notification bell. You can also like our videos and share them. To those who support this channel in one way or the other, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you. Please continue in the same spirit. That is the kind of support that can lift this channel. I have always said severally on this platform that William Ruto will find it very difficult in 2027 to ascend to the most coveted house, State House. And in fact, in 2027, it is not going to be stealing elections that will help Ruto. Maybe robbery like it happened in 2007 in broad daylight. I'm saying this because in as much as William Ruto thinks that Kenyans are gullible, they are beginning to wake up. Those who had their heads in the sand like the proverbial ostrich are beginning to wake up. You see, ever since William Ruto ascended to power, he has been on a charm offensive and buying each and every person who cares to take his money. And I think about 2 days ago, I did a video and I opined that there are only two politicians who are enjoying a massive peace and tranquility, political speaking, in their areas. And that is Kalonzo Musyoka, because I have never seen a lot of altercation between him and his members of parliament. So in fact, I said that I'm waiting to see, or I'm yet to see, any member of parliament from Kalonzo's side, Wiper side, going to State House to take money, to have some nice photos in State House. And I've only seen people like Wavinya Ndeti, the Machakos governor, and Mutula Kilonzo Jr. saying that they want to work with the president, but nothing much is happening. They are very loyal. And William Ruto was also number 2 in my radar because I thought that the Rift Valley has been pocketed and that no one can now rise up to try and face William Ruto, because I thought people like Gideon Moi has been silenced and now they're working together. People like Isaac Ruto was given a job in the Judicial Service Commission, and Ruto is appointing several of them. So one man that was remaining is Alfred Keter. Now Alfred Keter is one person who has been a thorn in the flesh to William Samoei Ruto. They were there with Kutun, but Kutun has since also, gone into Ruto's pockets. And I thought that maybe the next person who they would be targeting, and we cannot even rule out that possibility now, would be Alfred Keter for an appointment. And I thought he had been silenced. But yesterday, Alfred Keter was in one of the funerals in Rift Valley. And in that funeral, it was Alfred Keter against all the members of parliament who were elected on a UDA ticket. People like Arun Cheriot were all there, all the bigwigs, the luminaries of the UDA, people who feel that they have Rift Valley for themselves. So when Alfred Keter was given a chance to speak, he faced William Ruto. He faced all, of course, William Ruto is outside the country, but he faced him with his facts, and he faced all the members of parliament who are there, and he told them off that the fallacy that they wanted to form a government of the people, a government that cares for the common man, was not true. And the way people were connecting with him, the way people were responding to him was really amazing.
And I'm not about to change. And I have no apologies to make. Because unless you say as it is, there are many people who will suffer. Uswajieneta Kenya. Na mimi nataka kuomba Bwana Secretary General, what you mentioned about delocalization is bothering many teachers. And it will be worse because the fuel has been increased and the cost of transport will be crazy that no teacher will afford. The cost of living is on another level. You stood on a platform of bottom up. Kusaidia wale wanyonge alafu waende juu. Lakini sasa hivi mmesahau. Mkiongeza fuel mnatesa wale wa chini zaidi kushinda wale wa juu. Ngoma moja wako kwa fuel tubote sio. Na mtu waje kututisha hapo kidogo ati kwa vile moto ku amu serikali kwa mwa. Mami, yage rubuti kwa kitu. Si mko hapa? Mkitoka hapa mtuonyeshe petrol stations ya watu wa serikali na ile ya opposition. Magenge? Ndibia mandazi gete bekele ngono? Anane? Na msikwambia tiozi jini. Watu wa kumako losa tuweka sasa wanaona mimi mwenye mimi kama there are many people who are languishing in poverty. The school fees has been increased. The cost of living is on another level. And you spoke on the same basis. Mulisema yule rais ambao alitoka hapo anajua kuongoza. Hata mimi nikakubali. Lakini nyinyi you have made worse than Uhuru Kenyatta. Anane, ukataka kuone maisha mauli? Anane. Mamisa izoege. Mamisa izoege. Kasi ndio hata tumul jamaa tumekija. Wala tumekija hapa. Jamaa mmoja atiga waida jamaa mmoja atiga hapa. Mbona hata hata bikeleni mandangaleta kama weka mkono juu wale wote wanasema ni kweli. Asante sana. May my uncle rest in eternal peace. Thank you so much.
One would expect that people would rise up against Alfred Keter because that is Ruto's backyard. One would think that they would even chase him away. But Alfred Keter had his moment and the people were cheering him up and he spoke till the end. At some point they are saying, who I think telling them, kill them with facts. Say it. And in fact, it was not a section of the crowd that was there. The whole of the congregation rose up and he lit fire there. When the other members of parliament had their moment to speak, they walked shamefaced. They could not rebuttal. They could not try or dare to attack Alfred Keter because he was speaking the language of the people. For the very first time, I have seen a leader from Kalenjin ever since William Ruto took oath of office, who can dare face William Ruto and tell him you are wrong. And if there is something that is going to be that William Ruto is going to regret, is his dalliance with the West and his promise to ensure that he increases the tax on fuel products, because this is going to be his downfall. In 2027, he will have nothing to tell the people. And for you to see people cheering up Alfred Keter, a very strong opponent of William Ruto, then it tells you that Punda amechoka. You know, sometimes when you see Rigathi Gachagua on the other side speaking and people are cheering him up, those people are living in denial, because the fact is the burden is real and the cost of living is just too high. With the increment of tax or the price of fuel to 200 shillings, I understand it is the first time it has hit 200 in the history of Kenya. And IPRA, for those who watched my video yesterday, IPRA said it very categorically, if you go to their tweet, that they're increasing the prices in line with the Finance Bill 2023, because in that Finance Bill, that is still in court, and of course it is a done deal if you ask me. The VAT, value added tax, has been increased from 8 to 16%. So it is these taxes that are really choking the hustlers. And the hustlers are tired and they're beginning to express. Those who still want to live in denial and want to be given wali kwa nyama will continue doing that. Because I think Rigathi Gachagua is very careful. When he goes there, he talks about handshake and he wants to avoid the debate on the high cost of living. And when the common man will rise up, when the common man will start rising up and telling William Ruto that we are tired of this, William Ruto will have nowhere to hide. The fallacies that they have always brought forward can no longer work, because the blame game has always been, it is because of the previous regime, it is because of Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta who looted this Kenya to the core. This can no longer work, because now 1 year down the line, the Finance Bill 2016 was not there. And it is very clear that we can always say that maybe there are a number of factors that are global, but the main thing that has happened here is forcing the finance bill. People are tired of listening to blame game, and they are tired of listening to lies, and they are telling William Ruto, we are tired of listening to lies. It is high time William Ruto faces the reality. Wavinya Ndeti spoke against this. Even Kotu warned that if this thing is not addressed, then they might decide to go to the street. They were calling for industrial action. Bishop Muheria also spoke and told William Ruto that he must exercise inclusivity so that people can talk about this. It is not an issue that can be left to the government when people are suffering. So it tells you that people are tired of listening to the lies, and the lies will not continue. I can assure you. Alfred Keter represents a clique of daring leaders who can face the regime and tell them and tell it off when things are wrong. You know, very many people wengi wamekunja mkia, but it seems Alfred Keter is someone who has decided that is not going to be silenced. Some people were saying that William Ruto might look for him and give him a job to silence him. But from the way he is talking, this man seems to be decided that he's not going to toe the line. He's going to stand with the people, because where we are now, it is either you are with the oppressed or the oppressor. And it seems that Alfred Keter has decided that he's going to stand with the oppressed. And this is a message to Azimio. People are tired of this regime. So much that if Azimio can put their house in order, I can assure you 2027 is going to be easy for them. They must look at a number of factors and sell their agenda. And to the hustlers, this is also a lesson to them, because they are suffering just as the others. Those who did vote for William Ruto are suffering. And Alfred Keter was asking, show us a petrol stations that belong to the opposition and those that belong to the Kenya Kwanza. And that is how serious things are, ladies and gentlemen. And I think wherever William Ruto is, when he comes back, they will go for a tour in the Rift Valley just to ensure that they try and hoodwink people there. Remember, this is coming against a backdrop of just the other day of Kalenjin leaders who are saying that they were duped into paying money for their children who were supposed to go and study abroad, and this money went to the drains. And there are other quarters that are saying that maybe this money helped William Ruto to campaign during the 2022 elections, and that is why they are dilly-dallying around it. Sometimes they're pretending that Mandag has been arrested when William Ruto was going for the devolution summit in the Rift Valley, only to be released, I think, 2 days later. So from now on, you will see Alfred Keter teaming up with the other leaders to condemn this government, because mahali tumefika ni kubaya. And then Raila Amolo Odinga has been told not to go to the streets. Let people like Alfred Keter go to the civil servants unions. Let those who feel concerned go to the street, because it is their constitutional right. But let Raila stay aside, because when he leads people like Rigathi Gachagua find an easy way of politicizing a very serious matter such as this. William Ruto will have is really in a fixed position, because he had signed a deal with the IMF. All the subsidies were removed and taxes must stay. Now he's between his masters that gave him power and the hustlers that also voted for him. I don't know which one to sacrifice, because as it is, he has sacrificed the hustlers to ensure that he obeys the Western masters. Things are really bad, and come 2027, I can assure you that William Ruto will not win. I know people are arguing that he had no deep state, but he won. Right now he's got the deep state. Even the deep state themselves are suffering, because what is going to form the basis of his campaign is, I promised this and this is what I achieved. From where you are, let us salute Alfred Keter.